Oh wow. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Boy, I've been fighting with my throat all morning. Hope it can come well enough for us to get on with the reading. But we are going to do the reading no matter what. Even if I have to do it in sign language, which I don't know. But if I have to do it in sign language, I will. But it must be done. So even my throat is bothering me. I'm still here. We are still going to get it done. So come on in, people, come on in. Let us begin this morning's reading with a little bit of recap about what we read yesterday. So for those of you who were not here yesterday we about yesterday we read about Elisha and the Shunammite woman who had made a little chamber for him in her house, a little room for him to rest his weary feet as he was on his way going all the time up to Mount Carmel to preach. And later on we saw where he had performed CPR on the woman's son who he'd actually blessed her with, and the son had come back to life. We also saw where um Naaman, where Naaman the leper was not so forthright in his belief in the powers that were bestowed on Elisha, because he was a leper. He had leprosy. And so he was, scorned by everybody. He had gone to the king of Israel for a cleansing, and the king had really chased him away. He said, what you coming up here for? We are come bother me for tell me about say you're a leper. What me supposed to do about that? Me and no God. Me can't neither make life nor take life. Me can't cure nobody. We are come to me for. And he essentially insulted Naaman, chased Naaman away. Naaman went to Elisha, and Elisha told him, even though Elisha told him, go wash yourself in the river Jordan, he was still skeptical. He said, why me have to go all the way a river Jordan? Look how much brooks and water they here. So water no water. Elisha said to him, I say to wash yourself in the river Jordan, and you shall be healed. And Naaman eventually he went and washed himself in the river Jordan, and he came out, according to the Bible, with skin so smooth and beautiful. It was described as like a baby's skin. That's how it was. And Naaman was so grateful to Elisha for that blessing. We also saw where um Gehazi, that was Elisha's handyman, how he tried to extort money from Naaman for what Elisha had done, for Elisha having basically healed Naaman by sending Naaman to go wash in the river Jordan. And we saw where Gehazi tried to extort money from Naaman, but Elisha wouldn't have it. And so Elisha struck Gehazi with leprosy. And Gehazi was his longtime servant who had been with him everywhere on all his journeys. But he was so angry at Gehazi for having tried to extort money from Naaman that he struck him with leprosy. All right. Let us. Todd is here. Morning, darling. How are you doing, sugar, sugar? Good morning to you, my dear sister. Good morning. And Netta's Nest is here as well. Good morning, Netta. How you doing? Remember the Bible mentioned that little maid, well, it teaches us that even the insignificant people around us can sometimes talk sense that is so true, because sometimes people believe that, oh, because they are educated, they have this, that, the other degree, they are above reproach, and somebody without said degrees, like they have, cannot tell them nothing. Yeah, yeah. So this morning, guys, we are going to continue the reading of the book of Second King. So you're invited to join us. Get your book Bible or your Google Bible, whichever one you have, and follow along with us as we read the book of Second Kings. And we are on to Second Kings chapter. Oops. Second Kings chapter 6. Let us begin. Second Kings chapter 6. And the sons of the prophet said unto Elisha, Behold now, the place where we dwell with thee. Hold on there, people. Okay. All right, it's okay. Chapter, oh my God. Chapter 6, let's begin. And the sons of the prophets said unto Elisha, Behold now, the place where we dwell with thee is too strait for us. Let us go, we pray thee, unto Jordan, and take thence every man a beam, and let us make us a place there where we may dwell. And he answered, Go ye. And one said, Be content, I pray thee, and go with thy servants. And he answered, I will go. So he went with them, and when they came to Jordan, they cut down wood. But as one was felling a beam, the axe, the axe head fell into the water. And he cried and said, Alas, master, for it was borrowed. So they were there at Jordan cutting down rivers. These are now the sons of the prophets. They're cutting down trees because, they want to make some dwelling places. They want to make some houses there. And one of the men, as he was cutting down a tree, the head of the axe, that the axe is on that piece of stick. It's stuck on the end of a stick that they used to cut down the trees. And the head of the axe fell into the water. Now he is upset, not just that he has lost the axe, but he had borrowed the axe, so he must bring it back. So he have to go get it out of the water. And the man of God said, Where fell it? And he showed him the place. And he cut down a stick and cast it in the water, and the iron did swim. You hear that, the miracle there? Y'all heard that? So he asked the man, where did the axe head? Because the axe is iron. It's not going to float. It is going to sink. So when the man told Elisha that the axe had fallen into the water, Elisha cut down a stick, cast the stick in the water, and the axe floated up to the surface. Therefore, said he, Take it up. And he put out his hand and took it. Then the king of Samaria warred against Israel, another war, guys, and took counsel with his servants, saying, in such and such a place shall be my camp. And the man of God sent unto the king of Israel, saying, beware that thou pass not such a place, for thither the Syrians are come down. And the king of Israel sent to the place where the man of God told him, and warned him off, and saved himself there, not once nor twice. Therefore the heart of the king of Syria was sore troubled for this thing. And he called his servants and said unto them, will ye not show me which of us is for the king of Israel? And one of his servants says, none, my lord, O king, but Elisha, the prophet that is in Israel, telling the king of Israel the words that thou speakest in thy bedchamber. And he said, go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him. And it was told him, saying, behold, he is in Dotham. Therefore sent he thither horses and chariots and a great host, and they came by night and compassed the city about. And when the servant of the man of God was risen early and gone forth, behold, a host and a host compassed the city, both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, alas, my master, how shall we do? And he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw. And behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire around about Elisha. And when they came down to him, Elijah prayed unto the Lord and said, smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness. And he smote them with blindness, according to the word of Elisha. Welcome again to the live, guys. Thank you all so much for coming. God says, tell them to like up the like. Come on, guys. You all need to hit the like button. The like button will not electrocute you. Come on now. It won't burn your fingers. All right. So hit that like button, my friends, and let us continue the reading. Hope you get your book Bible or your Google Bible with you and follow along. For those of you who are just coming into the channel, if you don't know what we are doing here, well, we are on a quest to read the entire Bible on our own and understand it on our own terms. We are no theologians over here. We do not endorse any particular denomination or religion. However, we are reading the Bible with an open mind because, after all, the Bible has an influence on absolutely every aspect of our lives. So we believe that it is imperative that we read it ourselves and familiarize ourselves with the stories that are in the Bible. Despite a lot of the exaggeration, we're still reading it. So come along with us. That shows that we are virtually blind to so many things around our daily lives. That is true. So many things happening around us. We are blind to it. We ain't seeing nothing. We're looking on but not seeing. I think Garnet still sang that song. Them belly full but them starving. Them have a lot and still wanting. You know that song called? Yeah, without you we're empty. Fill us up with your mercy. All right. No more singing for the morning, Trev. Your voice is what this morning. Verse 19. And Elijah said unto them, This is not the way, neither is this the city. Follow me, and I will bring you to the man whom ye seek. But he led them to Samaria. And it came to pass, when they were come into Samaria, that Elisha said, Lord, open the eyes of these men, that they may see. And the Lord opened their eyes, and they saw. And behold, they were in the midst of Samaria. And the king of Israel said unto Elisha, when he saw them, my father, shall I smite them? Shall I smite them? And he answered, thou shalt not smite them. Wouldest thou smite those whom thou hast taken captive with thy sword and with thy bow? Set bread and water before them, that they may eat and drink, and go to their master. And he prepared great provisions for them. And when they had eaten and drunk, he sent them away, and they went to their master. So the bands of Syria came no more into the land of Israel. Verse 24. And it came to pass after this, that Benadad, king of Syria, king of Assyria, gathered all his host and went up and besieged Samaria. And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it, until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver. Why an ass's head, though? Why a donkey's head? A donkey's head was sold for 80. That's 80 pieces of silver. And the fourth part of a cab of dove's dung, for 4 pieces of silver, for 5 pieces of silver. A cab of dove's dung? Who collect dove doodoo? Edgy, what's up? How you doing? Okay, let's read verse 25 again. And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it, until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and a fourth part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. That's exactly. This is expensive stuff. You can imagine collecting dove doodoo. Wow, expensive stuff. I'm wondering if in today's world, if dove's dung is something that we don't know is very valuable, we might go start touching some dove and collecting them doodoo. Cause maybe the dove doodoo have a lot of hidden secrets in it. Who knows? Verse 26. And as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, help, O Lord, help, my Lord, O king. And he said, if the Lord do not help thee, whence shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor or out of the winepress? Oh my God, that king of Israel was really something else, don't you all think? Remember what he did to Naaman in the previous chapter? How he chased Naaman away? Now here is another woman hollering to him for help. Him say, if the Lord not help you, what me supposed to do? Good Lord. Mm-mm. Verse 28. And the king said unto her, What caused you to be sick? He says, what aileth thee? That means, why you sick of? What's your problem? Oh my Lord. Mm-mm. And she answered, This woman said unto me, Give thy son, that he may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. Really? Really? So cannibalism going on back then? So we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her in the next day, Give your son that we may eat him. And she hath hid her son. Wanna hear that? So the woman is crying to the king for justice. She wants and say when I go find all those doves. Just let me tell you something. If me find even one, it won't take me some time to collect all that dung. But if it's even one dove, I will collect the dung. Collect the dove dung. 'Cause I sound like the dove dung have something in it. Woo! Oh my God. So, so guys, here we are seeing in the Bible where there is cannibalism going on. And this woman is very upset. And she's calling out to the king of Israel for help. He said, What's your problem? What you want help with? She said, This woman come and says, Let us eat your son. Because you know them hungry, them have not at all to eat. But I'm wondering how true that is, because even if there is a famine, I mean, I don't know. To think that with all the cows and goats and stuff that they're talking about, they find animals to make the sacrifices day and night. So how comes they couldn't find animals to eat? No fish, not in the water, no nothing. They start to eat people. So those of you who don't think cannibalism is in the Bible, go check Second Kings chapter 6. I'm reading it right here on verse 28. So the woman comes to the king and she says to him, she needs help. She says, another woman in the village came to her and told her to let them eat her son. So she agreed. And they did slaughter her son and everybody ate her son. Now, next day they still gotta eat. So they want to eat the next woman's son. She said, she hide her son. So the woman is upset. She comes to the king for justice. Verse 30. And it came to pass, when the king heard the words of the woman, that he rent his clothes, and he passed by upon the wall. And the people looked, and behold, he had sackcloth within upon his flesh. Okay, so the king ripped off his priestly robe, and now they are seeing only his little, the little cloth that them use wrap up the private area. Right. So that's what the people were seeing because the king ripped off his clothes. Verse 31. Then he said, God, do so and more also to me, if the head of Elisha, the son of the Shaphat, shall stand on him this day. But Elisha sat in his house, and the elders sat with him. And the king sent a man from before him. But here the messenger come to him. He said to the elders, See he how this son of a murderer hath sent to take away my head? So you see, the king sent the man to go kill Elijah. But Elijah could see from afar that he is coming, and his intentions were not pure. Look, when the messenger comes, shut the door and hold him fast at the door. Is not the sound of his master's feet behind him? Okay, so Elijah instructs the people to shut the door when they see the messenger coming, because he's not coming with good message. He is coming. to take Elisha's life because he was the one that was causing the drought, because he shut up heaven so that it would not rain for years. Well, yes, so the people are really upset with Elisha, because they believe Elisha is the one. He is a prophet and he has done such great things. If he calls for rain, they believe rain will come. But he has not so far called for rain. He has, as God says, shut up the heaven. Yes, he has caused the heavens to close and no rain to come. Got to be a powerful man, ain't it? Let us continue. Verse 33, and this is the last verse of chapter 6. And while he yet talked with them, behold, the messenger came down unto him, and he said, Behold, this evil is of the Lord. What should I wait for? What should I wait for the Lord any longer? Let's read that again. Verse 33. And while he yet talked with them, so while Elisha was still talking to his men, behold, the messenger, now this is the messenger that is sent from the Israeli king. The messenger came down unto him, and he said, Behold, this evil is of the Lord. What should I wait for the Lord? And what should I wait for the Lord any longer? That doesn't sound English grammatically correct, but that's what it says here. What should I wait for the Lord any longer? Hold on. Let me read that again. And while he is Elisha, is talking with them, the messenger came down unto him, and he said, Behold, this evil is of the Lord. What should I wait for the Lord any longer? I think it should read, What should I wait for the Lord any longer? Yes, I'm thinking there are so many different ways that I think the things that I think they wanted to say, but it just doesn't come across right here exactly what they wanted to say. Because he said, and we understand that while he was talking with the men who were with him, the messenger came down to him, and he said, Behold, this evil is of the Lord. Is that Elisha who said this evil? Is that Elisha who said that? And he said, Behold, this evil is of the Lord. Does it mean that this evil man, that evil messenger is of the Lord, from the Lord of Israel, as in the king who has sent the messenger? Or is this evil of the Lord? They meaning that the Lord above, considering that it is the capital L that's being used. Remember, those of you who were here with us yesterday or the day before, we spoke about how in the Bible, when it's talking about an earthly Lord, it uses a common L, but when it's talking about the heavenly Lord, it uses a capital L. And here is one instance when I don't know if you all have read it before and maybe know better, but for me right now, I am here thinking that this capital L might be of the earthly Lord, because the messenger did come from the earthly Lord. That was the Lord of Israel, the King of Israel. So we might have to look into that again, some way, somehow, or wait for the Bible to explain it. We'll read it one last time. And while he yet talked with them. That's while Elisha talked with his men. Behold, the messenger came down unto him, and he said, Behold, this evil is of the Lord. What should I wait? Should I wait for the Lord any longer? Netta said, I got to read that again. They were eating folk. Yes, they were, according to the Bible. Yes, they were. The famine was so terrible that they started to eat one another. Verse, and now we are moving on to Second Kings chapter 7. Follow along with us, my friends. Follow along with us. Then, chapter 7. Then Elisha said, Hear ye the word of the Lord. Thus said the Lord, Tomorrow, about this time, shall a measure of fine flour be sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel in the gate of Samaria. So here, uh-oh. So here, guys, the famine is so terrible. The people are gouging the prices of stuff. They are selling everything so expensive. Those who have stuff, because like the people who are rich and the lords of the land, the governors, they have storehouses of barley and wheat and corn, and they have lots of animals. So they have, but it's the regular ordinary man who is feeling more than just the pinch. So here, these people who have a lot, they are selling the stuff for a lot of money that the poor people cannot afford. So here he's saying that tomorrow, they are going to be selling a measure of fine flour for a shekel. A shekel, that time enough money, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel in the gate of Samaria. Then, then a lord on whose hand the king leaned answered the man of God and said, Behold, if the Lord will make windows in heaven, might this thing be? And he said, Behold, thou shalt see it with thine eyes, but shalt not eat thereof. Okay. And there were 4 leprous men. How many leprous men were there? 4. There were 4 leprous men at the entering in of the gate. And they said one to another, Why sit we here until we die? Why are we going to stay here until we die? We don't have no food. Why are we staying here? We have leprosy. We don't need to stay here. If we say we will enter into the city, then the famine is in the city, and we shall die there. And if we sit still here, we die also. Now therefore come, and let us fall unto the host of the Syrians. If they save us alive, we shall live, and if they kill us, we shall die. Welcome into the live, everybody. Don't forget to hit the like once you come in. We are reading this morning from the book of the Second Kings. We are currently on chapter 7. So follow along. Verse 5. And they rose up in the twilight to go unto the camp of the Syrians. And when they were come to the uttermost part of the camp of Syria, behold, there was no man there, So the four leprous men got up, went to Syria. When they got there, nobody was there. The city was empty. For the Lord had made the host of the Syrians to hear to hear a noise of chariots and a noise of horses, even the noise of a great host. And they said one to another, Lo, the king of Israel hath hired against us the kings of the Hittites and the kings of the Egyptians to come upon us. So here, as they were going to Syria, the Syrian men heard the sounds of the horses coming, the sound of the chariots. So everybody, I think they all ran to hide because they believed that the king of Israel had sent, warriors to come and fight them. So they've all disappeared. Verse 7. Wherefore they arose and fled in the twilight and left their tents and their horses and their asses, even the camp as it was, and fled for their lives. And when these lepers came to the uttermost part of the camp, they went into one tent, and did eat and drink, and carried thence silver and gold, and raiment, and went and hid it, and came again and entered into another tent, and carried thence also, and went and hid it. So here, guys, here in chapter 7 of Second Kings, the four lepers have arrived in Assyria, but all the men of Syria are gone because they heard the chariots coming and they figured that it was going to be war. They are not in the mood for any war. They don't even have a lot of. They're not in the mood. They don't want any war right now. Now is not the time for war because everybody is hungry. So it's not the time for war. So when they heard the chariots coming and the clicking of the horses' hooves, they said, you know what, we are not staying here. So they just communed amongst themselves, tell each other, listen, we're not staying here, we are going to run away. So they ran away, left their tents just as it were. As the four lepers came into the camp, they started to loot the camp. They started to loot the camp. They went into tent after tent. They ate what they saw, drank what they saw, and they took whatever valuables, clothes, silver, gold, whatever it is they found of value, they took it. Let us continue. Verse 9. Then they said one to another, we do not well. This day is a day of good tidings, and we hold our peace. If we tarry till the morning light, some mischief will come upon us. Now therefore, come, that we may go and tell the king's household. So they came and called unto the porter of the city, and they told them, saying, we come to the camp of the Syrians, and behold, there was no man there, neither voice of man, but horses were tied up there, and asses were tied up, but the tents were empty. And the tents were empty, meaning there was no human being. They saw horses tied up, donkeys tied up, but the tents didn't have anybody in them. And he called the porters, and they told it to the king's house within. And the king arose in the night, and said unto his servants, I will now show you what the Syrians have done to us. They know that we are hungry. Therefore are they gone out of the camp to hide themselves in the field, saying, when they come out of the city, we shall catch them alive and get into the city. So here the lepers have told the king that the Syrians, they don't see anybody. They see horses tied up, asses tied up, but there's nobody in the tents. So here the king now saying that they are going to go down. They are going to go down there because here they are hungry and the Syrians have lots of food down there. So they are going down. Verse 12 again. And the king arose in the night and said unto his servants, I will now show you what the Syrians have done to us. They know that we are hungry. Therefore are they gone out of the camp to hide themselves in the field, saying, when they come out of the city, we will catch them alive and get into the city. Now they are worried that it is a trap that the Syrians have set for them. Verse 13. And one of his servants answered and said, let some take, I pray thee, 5 of the horses that remain, which are left in the city. Behold, they are as all the multitude of Israel that are left in it. Behold, I say, they are even as all the multitude of the Israelites that are consumed. And let us send and see, Andrea is in the house. My dear Andrea, how are you doing, my love? Happy Wednesday to you. Welcome into the live as always, my love. I sincerely appreciate your love and support. This morning, we are reading the book of Second Kings. We are on to chapter 7. So come, guys, follow along with us in your book Bible or your Google Bible. Verse 14 of chapter 7. They took therefore two chariot horses, and the king sent after the host of the Syrians, saying, go and see. And they went after them unto Jordan, and lo, all the way was full of garments and vessels, which the Syrians had cast away in their haste. And the messengers returned and told this to the king. And the people went out and spoiled the tents of the Syrians. So a measure of fine flour was sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel, according to the word of the Lord. All right. Andrea says, well, cannibalism mentioned. Oh, yes. When I tell you all that nothing is new, it's probably in the Bible somewhere. Of course, yes. And by reading it for ourselves, we are finding it. These are things that are not read in church, things that we're not hearing about in the church, because the verses that are read are all selective. They read one verse, grab one verse out of a psalm, out of a proverb, grab a verb. Grab a verse, and they expound on that single verse. And if you do not go back to the Bible and read that entire chapter, or even that entire book, you won't get no context about what they're saying. They're just using this one verse or a few collective verses, and give you a sermon. Can use it and give you a powerful sermon with great meaning. But is that meaning what was meant in the Bible from that verse? You will never know unless you go read it for yourself. And that's where I come in. We are reading it for ourselves. Verse 17. And the king appointed the Lord on whose hand he leaned to have the charge of the gate. And the people trod upon him in the gate, and he died. Oh wow, the people them trampled the man to death. Let's read that again. And the king appointed the Lord on whose hand he leaned to have the charge of the gate. And the people trampled upon him in the gate, and he died, as the man of God had said, who spake when the king came down to him. So y'all remember that Elisha had said that tomorrow this time, the flour was going to be sold for a shekel. Well, now here it is happening. Verse 18. And it came to pass as the man of God had spoken to the king, saying, 2 measures of barley for a shekel, and a measure of fine flour for a shekel shall be tomorrow about this time in the gate of Samaria. You see, I didn't read that yet. I may remember that's what was said. Okay. All right. Verse 19. And that Lord answered the man of God and said, Now, behold, if the Lord should make windows in heaven, might such a thing be? And he said, Behold, thou shalt see it with thine eyes, but shalt not eat thereof. And so it fell out unto him, for the people trod upon him in the gate, and he died. So the man is holding the gate and the people then trample him. Because the people then well want the food. They trampled him and he died. Welcome into the live, my dear people. How is everybody doing this morning? Thank you all so much for coming. We are currently reading the book of Second Kings. We have just completed chapter 7. Read along with us. Let's discover what's in the Bible. Chapter 8. Let's move on to chapter 8. Then spake Elisha unto the woman, whose son he had retorted to life. You remember the woman whose son Elijah brought back to life? That was the Shunammite woman. I believe this is who he's talking about. Let's read. Then spake Elisha unto the woman, whose son he had restored to life, saying, Arise, and go thou and thy household, and sojourn wheresoever thou can sojourn. So he says to the woman, Get up, you and your family, and go. Stay with whoever you can stay with. See, get shelter wherever you can, but get up and go. For the Lord hath called for a famine, and it shall also come upon the land for 7 years. And the woman arose and did what Elisha had said, and she went with her household and sojourned in the land of the Philistines for 7 years. Okay? Him said, Leave this place, go find refuge wherever you can, but leave. And the woman left and went to Philistines, to the land of the Philistines for 7 years. So this woman he's talking about is the Shunammite woman. And it came to pass at the 7 years' end that the woman returned out of the land of the Philistines, and she went forth to cry unto the king for her house and for her land. Okay, so after 7 years, the woman go back to her land. She went back to her house. Huh. And she went forth to cry unto the king for her house and her land. That means somebody has taken her house and her land. And the king, Joseph, what's up? How are you doing, my love? Good to see you, Jojo. Good to see you. And the king talked with Gehazi, the servant of the man of God, saying, Tell me, I pray thee, all the great things that Elisha has done. Netta said, My mama always said there's nothing new under the sun. Exactly, Netta. Your mama is right. Your mama is so right, my sister. Nothing is new under the sun. Okay? So now this woman, she wants to go back to, she's out of the land of the Philistines, go back to her land, but it seems like somebody has taken away her land and her house. So she's crying unto the king for her house and her land. And the king talked with Gehazi. You all remember Gehazi? But I didn't hear where Elisha healed Gehazi from having turned Gehazi into a leper. You all remember when Gehazi tried to extort money from Naaman after Elisha had healed Naaman of his leprosy? Well, had sent him to go wash in the river Jordan to heal his leprosy. And Gehazi tried to extort money from Naaman. And Elisha struck Gehazi with leprosy. So now here is Gehazi still his servant. Let's read here in chapter 8, verse 4. And the king talked with Gehazi, the servant of the man of God, saying, Tell me, I pray thee, all of the great things that Elisha has done. And it came to pass, as he was telling the king how he had restored a dead body to life, that, behold, the woman whose son he had restored to life cried to the king for her house and her land. And Gehazi said, My lord, O king, this is the woman, and this is her son, whom Elisha restored to life. Yes, yes, God. Gehazi should be a leper at this time. Because we not hear where Elisha heal him yet. But let us continue. So here the king is talking to 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 Gehazi to say, since since everybody so believe in the man that you follow, Elijah, you're a master because Gehazi is Elisha's servant. So since everybody believe in him, now you tell me what kind of miracles has he done? Why everybody are cheer him on so? And Elisha said, and Gehazi said to the king, well, he has restored a dead boy to life. And at the same time, the Shunammite woman comes along and he says, see the woman here, king? This is the woman whose son Elisha brought back to life. And when the king asked the woman, she told him. So the king appointed unto her a certain officer, saying, Restore all that was hers, and all the fruits of the field since the day that she left the land, even until now. All right, so the king tell them, Give back the woman her land. Give back the woman her land, her fruits, and everything that she had on her land when she had left and gone to live in Philistines. And the king And Elisha came to Damascus, and Benadad, the king of Syria, was sick. And it was told, saying, The man of God is come here. So Elisha is coming to Damascus. And as when somebody who is such a prophet, who is revered by everybody, them excited. It's like when Haile Selassie go to Jamaica and the news spread and say Haile Selassie coming. What? People put on them best suit. People walk for miles riding donkey, whatever way they can. Whatever way they can to reach wherever to go see Haile Selassie. Just like when they said the Queen was coming to Jamaica. Lord have mercy, the people them do walk for miles and miles. Them want to go see Queen Elizabeth. Oh Lord, if we only knew then what we know now. She won that turn up by Euro Circle. She won. Anywho, let us continue. All right. Let us continue, my dear people. Verse 7, and we are on 2 Kings chapter 8, guys. Verse 7. And Elisha came to Damascus, and Benadad, the king of Syria, was sick. And it was told to him, saying, The man of God is come thither. That sounds like a squatters coming to take over the woman. Yes, but the king is aware of it. Yes, them come in and take over the woman land. And the king said unto Aziel, Take a present in thine hand, and go meet the man of God, and inquire of the Lord by him. saying, shall I recover of this disease? Remember, the King Ben-Hadad is sick, you know. So Ben-Hadad is sick. So when he hear that Elisha is coming into Syria, he sent Azael. He sent Azael to go meet Elisha, to go meet Elisha and ask him if he is going to recover. Go meet him for me now, ask him if he think me going to recover from this disease. And Elisha said unto him, this him is Azael, go, say unto him, now this new him is Ben-Hadad, thou mayest certainly recover. Howbeit the Lord hath showed me that he shall surely die. Thou mayest certainly recover. Howbeit the Lord hath showed me that he shall surely die. So the Lord showed Elisha that Ben-Hadad is going to die, but Elisha is going to make sure he don't die. Is that what y'all get from that? That's what I understand. Is that the Lord has shown Elisha that Ben-Hadad is going to die, but Elisha, with his power, is going to make sure that Ben-Hadad doesn't die. Let's read that again. And Elisha said unto him, go, say unto him. So this him that he's talking to now is Azael, because Ben-Hadad has sent Azael to consult with Elisha. So Elisha said to Azael, go and say unto Ben-Hadad, you may certainly recover. Howbeit the Lord hath showed me that he shall surely die. And he settled his countenance steadfastly until he was ashamed, and the man of God wept. And Azael said, why are you crying, my Lord? And he answered, because I know the evil that thou wilt do unto the children of Israel. Their strongholds will you set on fire, and their young men wilt thou slay with the sword, and will dash their children, and rip up their women with child. And Azael said, but what, is thy servant a dog, that he should do this great thing? And Elisha answered, the Lord hath showed me that thou shalt be king over Syria. Okay, so here Elisha is prophesying to Azael that he can see. The Lord has showed him that Azael will be king over Syria. And Azael, it seems, is going to be a wicked king, because he says, you are going to rip apart women who are pregnant. You are going to be dashing children to their death. You are going to set the place on fire. Okay. So here Elisha has a very serious prophecy for Azael. So Azael departed from Elisha and went back to his master. Now his master is Ben-Hadad, who said unto him, what did Elisha say? And he answered, he told me that you shall surely recover. Verse 15. And it came to pass on the morrow, that means the next day, that he took a thick cloth and dipped it in water and spread it on his face, so that he died. What? Didn't Elisha said he wasn't gonna die? Oh, and it came to pass on the morrow that he took a thick cloth and dipped it in water and spread it on his face, so that he died. So Benadad put a thick cloth over his face, thick cloth with water, and suffocate himself. Hmm. That's interesting, guys, isn't it? Okay, let us continue. And Aziel reigned in his stead. So remember, Elisha had prophesied that he could see that Azael was going to be king of Assyria. And here it is. And here it has come to pass. Benadad has died, and now Azael is reigning over Syria. Let us continue. Verse 16. And in the 5th year of Joram, the son of Ahab, king of Israel, Jehoshaphat, being then king of Judah, Jehoram, the son of Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, began to reign. Winsome is in the place. Winsome, what's up? How are you doing, my darling? Good to see you, my dear sister. Winsome, you get the Bible yet? Winsome, so many years on. So, Winsome, Winsome, rest yourself. The people them need to hear the reading. You need to align yourself with the reading, and that will teach you a lesson. Say, don't go nowhere without your Bible. No matter how your suitcase, no matter how your suitcase pack, carry your Bible with you. No matter what, no matter where me go, me have the Bible here with me, no. No matter where me I go, me have that little Bible here with me in my bag, because if I'm supposed to do the reading and I'm not home, me not supposed to say to myself, so well, me not there home, me can't do the reading because me not there home. Yeah, me carry the Bible along with me so I can do the reading wherever I am. So, Sister Winsome, that's a good lesson right there. Carry your Bible with you wherever you go. That is your lesson for next time. But anyway, we are continuing, Sister Winsome. Anyway, you want me to go over, Sister Winsome, just text me. Any chapter you want me to reread, you can always text me. Me no mind, me reread it another time. Um his own God says his own waterboarding, I guess. Andrea said, did he commit suicide after he was told of the prophecy by the prophet? Oh yeah, it was Elisha, it wasn't a seer, he was a prophet. He was a prophet. Well, yes, Andrea. Obviously, that's what I am understanding from it. That he put a water, because verse 15 said, and it came to pass on the morrow that he took a thick cloth and dipped it in water and spread it on his face so that he died. So that meaning commit suicide. Him get one thick piece of cloth, him wet it up, lay down and put it over his face so he can't breathe, number one. And then with the water being in there, I guess he's inhaling the water, so he suffocate and drown. I don't know, but that's what he did. And he died. And Azael reigned in his stead. Hmm. Who is that text me? Okay. Verse 16, and in the 5th year of Joram, the son of Ahab, king of Israel, Jehoshaphat, being being then king of Judah, Jehoram, the son of Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, began to reign. 32 years old he was when he began to reign. That's Jehoram. Jehoram was 32 when he started to reign. And he reigned for 8 years in Jerusalem. So Jehoram, he reigned for 8 years. That means until he was 40. And he walked in the way of the kings of Israel, as did the house of Ahab, for the daughter of Ahab was his wife. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord. So, so the daughter of Ahab was Jehoram's wife. Okay. Verse 19. Yet the Lord would not destroy Judah for David his servant's sake. So even though Jehoram was wicked, he did evil in the sight of the Lord. The Lord would not destroy Judah, or he was king over Judah, but the Lord would not destroy Judah because of David. Because remember, the Lord had blessed Judah because of David, because of David. Let me see. Sounds like murder. Oh, okay. So Netta has another view. Netta says it sounds like murder. So do you all come to think about it? I think it was, Netta. I think, okay. Okay, now that makes sense. That gives me another perspective on it. Because I was thinking that um that Benadad killed himself. But maybe not. I think Azael was the one who murdered Benadad. Do you all think so, guys? Come to think of it. Thank you for that, Netta, because that gives a whole new perspective on it. Now that you say murder, it sounds like Azael, because remember, Elisha said Azael was going to do a wicked thing. Remember, the prophet did prophesy that Azael was going to do a wicked thing. So I guess this he that we're talking about is indeed Azael suffocating Benadad. I hope the Bible explain it to us later on. Let us read that again. Oh, you see, that's why I love share things with people, because I mean, there's there are so many perspectives on any one thing that you cannot believe yours is the right one. So let us read that again. We're going to read from verse 14 when Azael um, left from out of Elijah's sight. So he departed from Elisha and came to his master, that is his master Benadad, who said unto him, what did Elijah say to you? And he answered and said, he told me that you will recover. And it came to pass in the morning that he took a thick cloth and dipped it in water and spread it on his face. But they don't say which he, they just say he. So that he died, and Azael reigned in his stead. So because they say he and they do not say the name, but they say the name of Azael, that tells me that the he they are talking about is Benadad. The language has to be continued in spite of the lineage. Yes, 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 God. You understand? Because they said he, because even in verse 14, even in verse 14, they didn't call Benadad's name. But we know that he was talking about Benadad because Benadad had sent Azael to meet with Elisha. So we know that he was Benaiah, but was Benadad. But in verse 15, when he says he took a thick cloth and dipped it in water and spread it on his face, that he died, and Azael reigned in his stead. That tells me that the he they were talking about before referring to Hazael's name was Benadad. So to me, it seems like suicide. Let us continue. And in the 5th year of Joram, the son of Ahab, king of Israel, Jehoshaphat being the king of Judah, Jehoram, the son of Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, began to reign. 32 years he was when he started to reign, and he reigned 8 years in Jerusalem. And he walked in the way of the kings of Israel, as did the house of Ahab, for the daughter of Ahab was his wife, and he did evil in the sight of the Lord. Yet the Lord would not destroy Judah for David his servant's sake, as he promised him to give him always a light, and to his children. Because remember, the Lord had promised David that he will bless his house and he will not destroy his house, nor his children, nor his children's children. So even though Solomon was wicked, the Lord didn't destroy because of David. And even though Solomon's son did wickedness, the Lord did not destroy Israel because he had promised David. Remember, the Lord said only one bad thing David did, and that was what he did to Uriah. Verse 20. In his days, Edom revolted from under the hand of Judah and made a king over themselves. So Joram went over to Zaire, and all the chariots with him, and he rose by night, and smote the Edomites which compassed him about, and the captains of the chariots, and the people fled into their tents. Yet Edom revolted from under the hand of Judah until this day. So the Edomites, they didn't want no longer to be ruled by the king of Judah. They want to do their own thing. They want to appoint their own king and rule themselves. They don't want to live and abide by these Judaic rules and laws. They want to do their own thing. Verse 22 said, Yet Edom revolted from under the hand of Judah until this day. Then Libnah revolted at the same time. So it's just like when you see modern day countries have coup. They have coup, they have riots. We don't want this we don't want this president anymore. We don't want this person to rule over us anymore. We want to do our own thing. We want to break away. We want to form our own society, appoint our own king, all of that. So this is a revolt right here in the Bible. Just another one, because there have been many. And the rest of the acts of Joram and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles in the kings of Judah? And Joram slept with his fathers and was buried with his fathers in the city of David. And Ahaziah his son reigned in his stead. In the 12th year of Joram, the son of Ahab, king of Israel, did Ahaziah, the son of Jehoram, king of Judah, begin to reign. 22 years. Ahaziah was 22 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Athaliah, the daughter of Omri, king of Israel. And he walked in the way of the house of Ahab, and did evil in the sight of the Lord, as did the house of Ahab. For he was the son-in-law of the house of Ahab. And he went with Joram, the son of Ahab, to the war against Hazael. Now, Hazael is by this time the king of Syria. Because remember, Ben-Hadad is dead, and Hazael is now the king of Syria. Hazael, king of Syria in Ramoth Gilead. And the Syrians wounded Joram. Verse 29. And King Joram went back to be healed in Jezreel of the wounds which the Syrians had given him at Ramah, when he fought against Hazael, king of Syria. And Ahaziah, the son of Jehoram, king of Judah, went down to see Joram, the son of Ahab, in Jezreel, because he was sick. All right. All right. So, Joram is wounded, so he is sick. And Ahaziah has gone down to see. Remember, they are both ruling have their own little kingdoms in Jerusalem. They have their own little kingdoms in Jerusalem. So they are buddies. We are going to move right along. Who else is here? Welcome, guys. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button. It's not that hard. It's not that bad, Come on. Let us continue. We are reading chapter 9. Who is this? Who that takes me on Instagram? Oh. Okay, chapter 9. We are moving along. Let's see what else is going to happen. Because remember, Elisha had prophesied that Hazael was going to be a wicked king in Syria. So let us see what chapter 9 has to say. And Elisha the prophet called one of the children of the prophets and said unto him, Gird up your loins, and take this box of oil in thy hand, and go to Ramoth Gilead. Now Ramoth Gilead is in Syria, where Hazael is the king. So, all right. So let's see what's going to happen there. Why is taking this oil to Ramoth Gilead? And when thou comest thither, that means when you get there, look out there, Jehu. Look for Jehu, the son of Jehoshaphat, the son of Nimshi, and go in, and make him arise up from among his brethren, and carry him to an inner chamber. All right. So he's sending. So he calls Elisha sending one of his prophets to Syria to go talk with Jehu. Let's see what they're going to talk about. Then take the box of oil and pour it on his head, and say, Thus saith the Lord, I have anointed thee king over Israel. Then open the door and flee. So the young man, the prophet, went to Ramoth Gilead. And when he came, behold, the captains of the host were sitting. And he said, I have an errand to thee, O captain. And Jehu said, Unto which of all us? And he said, To you, captain. And he arose and went into the house, and he poured the oil on his head, and said unto him, Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, I have anointed thee king over the people of the Lord, even over Israel. And thou shalt smite the house of Ahab, thy master, that I may avenge the blood of my servants, the prophets, and the blood of all the servants of the Lord at the hand of Jezebel. For the whole house of Ahab shall perish, and I will cut off from Ahab him that pisseth against the wall, and him that is shut up and left in Israel. Oh, wow. And I will make the house of Ahab, like the house of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, and like the house of Baasha, the son of Ahijah. Now you all know what happened to their house, right? Everybody was killed. Everybody was killed. Because remember the that the prophet, remember when Jeroboam was king and he had sent his wife to go find out from the prophet if his son was going to die. The prophet told her when she entered the city, the son was going to die. But everybody also, because Jeroboam was so wicked, everybody in the city, everybody that pissed on the wall, that means all the men were going to die. And their bodies were going to be eaten by dogs in the street. And those who died in the fields, crows were going to eat them. Remember, that's what the prophet had said. Now, here, Elisha is saying that this is what's going to happen also to the house of Ahab. He said the same thing that happened to Jeroboam and the same thing that happened to Baasha is going to happen to Ahab. And oh my word, verse 9, and I will make the house of Ahab like the house of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, and like the house of Baasha, the son of Ahijah. And the dogs shall eat Jezebel in the portion of Jezreel, and there shall be none to bury her. And he opened the door and fled. Then Jehu came forth to the servants of the Lord, and one said unto him, is all well? Is everything okay? Wherefore came this mad fellow to thee? And he said unto them, he know the man and his communication. And they said, it is false. Tell us now. And he said, thus and thus. Thus and thus, that means so, so and so. This is what he says. Thus and thus spake he to me. He said this and he said that to me. That's what it means. When it says thus and thus spake he to me, that means he's retelling, reporting what was told to him. But they didn't want to repeat the whole story. So they just said, he says, thus and thus he said unto me, saying, thus said the Lord, I have anointed thee king over Israel. So Jehu is appointed king by the servants of Elijah, just pouring oil over his head. James Money, how are you doing? James Money 615. How are you doing? Welcome into the live. Thank you so much for coming. I sincerely appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming into the live. Now, for those of you who have come into the live this morning, I don't know why this phone isn't functioning properly. I want to use this phone to give you all some watch time, but I don't know why it's not working. Why that phone is not coming online, I'm not sure why. But who is here? Netta. Let me see if this one. Hold on a second there, guys. Let me see if this will go on. This was Large Boy. Okay, this played Large Boy all night. Good Lord. Alright. This played Large Boy all night. That was Large Boy. Netta's Nest. Netta's Nest playlist. Let me see which one of your playlists I haven't run yet. This pineapple one. Alright, there that is running. That pineapple, whatever is running for Netta. Let me see what card says here. Remember the Bible mentioned the little maid Well, it teaches us that Eve. Oh, because I scrolled up, I didn't realize. Okay, so there is. All right, Netta is getting some help right there. This phone isn't coming on, unfortunately, so I can't run nobody on it. It says connect to the internet, but it is connected. I don't understand what's going on with this phone. Um, I don't know what's going on with it, my friends. It's not coming on, so let us move right along. Let us continue reading. So I can only run Netas right now because I'm using this other one as my light and this one right here and that one isn't coming on. So let us continue. Let us continue the reading, my lovely people. Welcome into the live, everybody. Thank you all so much for coming. If you are new here, a very, very special welcome to you. Thank you so much for joining. If you have not yet hit that like button, go ahead, hit that like button. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Now is a good time to do so. And we do this every single morning. We gather here as we continue on the journey of reading the Bible in its entirety. We are reading the Bible in its entirety. All right? Chapter to chapter, from chapter to chapter, verse to verse, chapter to chapter, book to book, we are reading. All right? So here we are on chapter 9 of the book of Second Kings. All right, let us continue. We are on to verse 6. And he arose and went into the house, and he poured the oil on his head, and said unto him, Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, I have anointed thee king over the people of the Lord, even over Israel. And thou shalt smite the house of Ahab thy master, that I may avenge the blood of my servant, the prophet, and the blood of all the servants of the Lord at the hand of Jezebel. Because remember um, Jezebel was the one who came up with that plan to slay the king, and give, what was that guy's name again? No, what was that guy's name again? Cad Nordia. Remember those of you who are just coming who don't remember this story. We read it a couple days ago, where the guy had the field, the guy who had the vineyard, the olive orchard. He had that field, and Jezebel was the one who came up with the plan for them to stone the guy to death so that her husband could get the guy's land. So here, the Lord is avenging Jezebel. Said she's wicked. Verse 8, For the whole house of Ahab shall perish, and I will cut off from Ahab him that sitteth against the wall, and him that is shut up and left in Israel. And I will make the house of Ahab like the house of Jeroboam and Baasha, and the dogs shall eat Jezebel in the portion of Jezreel, and there shall be none to bury her. And he opened the door and fled. Then, excuse me. Then Jehu came forth to the servants of the Lord, and one said unto him, Is he well? Is he okay? Wherefore came this mad fellow to thee? And he said unto them, He know the man and his communication. And they said, It is false. Tell us now. And he said, Thus and thus spake he to me, saying, Thus saith the Lord, I have anointed thee king over Israel. Then they hasted and took every man his garment and put it under him on the top of the stairs, and blew with trumpets, saying, Jehu is king. So Jehu, the son of Jehoshaphat, the son of Nimshi, conspired against Joram, another conspiracy. Now Joram had kept Ramoth Gilead, he and all Israel, because of Hazael, king of Syria. Verse 14 again. So Jehu, the son of Jehoshaphat, the son of Nimshi, conspired against Joram, because now Joram had kept Ramoth Gilead, he and all Israel, because of Hazael, king of Syria. Oh, Jamaican, hey, Sandy, what's up? How are you doing, my darling? How are you doing? Good morning, sis. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let us continue the reading. Verse 15. But King Joram was returned to be healed in Jezreel of the wounds which the Syrians had given him. Because remember, Joram was wounded in the war he went to fight in Syria, when he fought with Hazael, king of Syria. And Jehu said, If it be your minds, then let none go forth nor escape out of the city to go to tell it in Jezreel. So Jehu rode in a chariot and went to Jezreel, for Joram lay there, and Ahaziah king of Judah was come down to see Joram. And there stood a watchman on the tower of Jezreel, and he spied the company of Jehu as he came, and said, I see company. And Joram said, Take a horseman, and send to meet them, and let them say, Is it in peace? Okay, so here Ahaziah was going down to go visit Joram, because he heard that Joram had been injured. So he's going down to go visit Joram. But the watchman on the wall saw them coming. And so he told Joram, I see company. I see people coming. I don't know who they are, but I see them coming. He said, Go ahead, go meet them and find out if they come in peace. Find out if they are friends or foe. Find out if they're coming for war, if it is our enemies. Verse, verse 18. So there went one on horseback to meet him, and said, Thus said the king, Is it peace? Is it peace? And Jehu said, What hast thou to do with peace? Turn thee behind me. And the watchman told, saying, The messenger come to them, but he cometh not again. Then he sent out a second on horseback, which came to them, and said, Thus said the king, Is it peace? And Jehu answered, What hast thou to do with peace? Turn thee behind me. And the watchman told, saying, He came on even unto them, and cometh not again. And the driving is like the driving of Jehu the son of Nimshi, for he driveth furiously. Mm. So Jehu is the fiercest horse driver around town. So everybody knows Jehu. Ah boy. Everybody knows Jehu. So now he has Joram has sent out two horsemen. None of them has come back to tell him whether or not the crowd that's coming is coming in peace or not. Verse 21. And Joram said, Make ready. And his chariot was made ready. And Joram, king of Israel, and Azariah, king of Judah, went out, each in his chariot. And they went out against Jehu, and met him in the portion of Naboth. of Naboth the Jezreelite. And it came to pass, when Joram saw Jehu, that he said, Is it peace, Jehu? And he answered, What peace? So long as the whoredoms of thy mother Jezebel and her witchcrafts are so many. And Joram turned his hand and fled, and said to Ahaziah, There is treachery, O Ahaziah. And Jehu drew a bow with his full strength and smote Jehoram between his arms, and the arrow went out at his heart, and he sunk down in his chariot. Oh wow. So Jehoram, so Jehu slew Jehoram. Oh wow. Let's read verse 24 again. And Jehu drew a sword with his full strength and smote Jehoram between his arms, and the arrow went out of his heart, and he sunk down in his chariot. In his chariot. Blessed one is here. Monea is here. How is everybody doing? Oh my Lord, how is everybody doing? Good to see you all, guys. And some someone come in while me I talk. Oh my gosh, while my head was in the book. Do the same thing when something gone into hiding. Monea, what's up? Let us continue. Let me see. Verse 25. Then said Jehu to Bidkar his captain, Take up and cast him in the portion of the field of Naboth the Jezreelite. For remember how that when I and you rode together after Ahab his father, the Lord laid this burden upon him. You all remember Naboth's field? This is Naboth. This is the man who owned the field. That Jezebel's husband, Ahab, he wanted the field. Remember? He wanted that field. And he asked Naboth to sell him the field. Naboth said, No, I'm not selling you because it is my inheritance. It is my inheritance from my father, so I'm not selling it. And Jezebel was the one who came up with the plan. When somebody call you Jezebel, they really hate you, one wicked piece of word that, one wicked piece of name that we call you Jezebel. And if you are a Jezebel, you are really devious and wicked. Verse 25. Then said Jehu to Bidkar his captain, Take up and cast him in the portion of the field of Naboth the Jezreelite. For remember how that when you and I rode together after Ahab his father, the Lord laid this burden upon him. Surely, I have seen yesterday the blood of Naboth. Remember? All the people them stone Naboth to death over the man one land. Surely I have seen yesterday the blood of Naboth and the blood of his sons, said the Lord, and I will requite thee in this plot, said the Lord. Now therefore take and cast him into the plot of ground, according to the word of the Lord. But when Ahaziah the king of Judah saw this, he fled by the way of the garden house. And Jehu followed after him and said, Smite him also in the chariot. And they did so at the going up. Wow. of the going up to Gur, which is by Ibleam, and he fled to Megiddo and died there. So Jehu and his men slew Ahaziah and Jehoram. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about, Sandy? Yep. Mm-hmm. And his servants carried him in the chariot to Jerusalem and buried him in his sepulchre with his fathers in the city of David. And in the 11th year of Joram, the son of Ahab, began Ahaziah to reign over Judah. And when Jehu was come to Jezreel, Jezebel heard of it, and she painted her face and tied her head and looked out at the window. And as Jehu entered in at the gate, she said, "Had Zimri peace? Who slew his master?" And he lifted up his face to the window and said, "Who is on my side? Who?" And there looked out to him two of three eunuchs. And he said, "Throw her down." So they threw her down, and some of her blood was sprinkled on the wall and on the horses, and he rode her underfoot. And when he was come in, he did eat and drink, and said, "Go, see now this cursed woman, and bury her, for she is a king's daughter." And they went to bury her, but they found no more of her than the skull, and the feet, and the palms of her hand. Wherefore they came again and told him, and he said, "This is the word of the Lord, which he spake by his servant Elijah the Tishbite, saying, In the portion of Jezreel shall dogs eat the flesh of Jezebel, mighty God of Daniel, and the carcass of Jezebel shall be as dung upon the face of the field in the portion of Jezreel, so that they shall not say, This is Jezebel, mighty God. Okay? So you all heard it for yourselves, guys. As is written in the book of Second Kings, chapter 9. So Jezebel, the wicked Jezebel, was eaten by dogs. They didn't want even to have a sepulchre for her because they didn't want nowhere to bury her for people to go and say, "This is where Jezebel is buried." What a curse she called upon herself. What a curse she called upon herself by the wickedness that she did to Naboth, just so that her husband could get Naboth's land, the land that wasn't his. You see when people ready eye? You see when people ready eye? Terrible things can happen. Because when you're ready eye, you will go to the ends of the earth. You will do so much wicked things just to get what is not yours. There is one thing I hate ready eye people. You see people with sitting you want it. I'm gonna tell you one story. Let me tell you something. I think I've told you all already I. People can't ready I. So I'm gonna tell you that story here. Several years ago, Meliconies of our baptism, got a baptism and something. Me and my sister find this a frock, but me say the frock nice one, pretty nice white frock. Me say the frock nice. My niece wear the frock at the day of our baptism. So baptism happen, we come home. When we come home, we did a big Sabbath, big Sabbath. And we come home and we did a Sabbath and what we gathered there and we are eat and stuff. Me one One of my sister friend from the church, one woman from the church, they then come, the little girl coming at the house. And when the little girl come, the little girl and my niece are born about the same age. The little girl come and she say, our mother, our mother, send her, send my sister to give her the frock what my niece just wear at the baptism because all the frock nice. Me say, Jesus have mercy, people, if you don't cut me no blood no run. Me say, what? Me say, if I was somebody who like to argue, I would have go out there and tell that woman some nothing but some words. But me couldn't when disrespect me mother and me auntie. So too much my family them was there. Me couldn't make them hear me cuss from the blessed Sabbath day. No, sir, because that deserving a proper cussing. That woman deserve a proper cussing. Me say the woman send the little pitney to come. And my sister house come beg her, tell her to give her the frock. Because all the frock was pretty at it. Me say, my Lord, can you believe it? So when the pitney come up with ready eye and you see them there bad mind other people and it was bred into them at home. Because if my child see one next pitney in a one frock at church and the frock nice, and my pitney come to me and say, oh wow, mommy, so and so wearing a nice dress. I say, yes, that's a beautiful dress. That's a beautiful dress. That's it. If you tell me like the dress, mommy, you think you can have one of the dress? Well, maybe you could have a look at the mall, because nowadays they make anyone of anything. Maybe we can go over the mall or make we ask where our mother buy the dress. Make we see if we go find one like it. Not fair enough. But the woman send the pitney in the house to come get me niece frock. The same for the pitney just wear our graduation. Oh my God. And my sister no see it as nothing. And she was like, oh well. I'm like, you really wrap up the frock and get this pitney the frock? She wrap up the frock and give it to the pitney. She wrap up the frock and give it to the pitney. He said, mighty God of Daniel, me know that could never be me. That could never be me. Because I would have read that man a constitutional right and make she know say the bad mind. And she teach the pitney for bad mind. She teach the pitney for ready eye. Because that is not something you do. You can't see somebody at church in a nice frock and you would go send your pitney to go take them to give you the frock. So you don't think so she did buy the frock for she wear the frock. And if you are frock, why you want it? Why you think it would be better for you to have it because it is so nice, but it's not good enough for the owner to have it? And some people turn on and thief. And some people turn on and kill people with their own things. See, I see him yesterday, neighbor also. I saw Jezebel and her husband killed neighbor for neighbor's own land. And neighbor land, inherited from his father, And they make a plot and plan and stone the man to death for his own land, his own vineyard. Official SP, official is in the place. Oh, you worship the ground, no worship the ground, walk and Mr. Official SP. No, sir. I don't want no man worship the ground when me walk on. Who wants the man to call you? Yeah. Well, if you want me, call me. Yes, I'm the type of girl who wants the man to call me. I'm in a rundown, man. Listen, may I read the Bible official SP? Why this morning? Blessed says, I'm told banning of the Bible in school is being called for in some states because there's too much violent content. Well, um, I don't think it's because of no too much violent content, because the same violent content we in it is it them use and pass and make other laws. So I know that them want the people them you know see the people are move further and further from God. Destruction I got take we left, right, and center, you know. Because even though I'm reading the Bible and I'm not endorsing any particular religion or any particular denomination. We're just reading it. But as me said before, as me said many times, the teachings that say you're not to kill, you're not to thief, you're not to bad mind. You know, see them teachings they're wrong. That is why I say we have to pick out what is applicable to our lives today. But you can't just blanket it off and say to me, say, anything in the Bible I hate me for do. Me and you are going to have a conversational war over that. Because as we are reading, there are so many things in the Bible that we're not doing today. We would never do. It does not apply to our lives as we live today. But then, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not be covetous. We see how dangerous those attributes can be. If you kill and steal and be covetous, we see how dangerous it can be to you and the people around you. So why would you want to endorse that? So that might be applicable. But not everything is. God said, the frock was nice. Yes, the frock was very nice, may I tell you. I think the Lord would have forgiven you for that. Because me know, but I forgive, but me couldn't cuss in front of me parents then. No man, you see, I was so upset that the woman really sent the picnic for the frock. Not to be, yes, blessed. That's exactly what I told my sister. I said that child needed to be taught a lesson in not being covetous. That child needed to be taught a lesson. Me would have never give her the frock. I would have tell your mom, this is the store where I got the frock. I'm sure the store maybe not have this, not have, never have just one. I would have told her to tell her mom where I got the frock. I mean, I entertain them something. Why did not run them wrist with me? I'm mad. No. Admire it. But I tell you, blessed, me say, the pitney come for the frock. Our mother drive her come at my sister yard and send her inside as we sit down there eat Sabbath lunch. And send the picnic in there. So my sister fi give her the frock. Or the picnic just where our baptism. Mm-hmm. Applicable to, yes, official SP. If it's applicable to your life, use it. If it's not applicable to your life, leave it alone. Leave it alone. All right. So, guys, that is the lesson for this morning. Thou shalt not be covetous. Covetousness. Wisdom said Trebit name dress. Mr. Wisdom, whether I name dress or me call it frock. Yes. It Winsome. Thanks for the correction, Sister Winsome. Oh my God. Blessed ones, even those laws they want to outdate. Yes, they want to outdate everything. But let me tell you something. Blessed. Let me tell this to everybody. We are going to go and go and go and go. Let me tell you something. As I say this, the 7th day of June 2023, no mark my word, we are going to take ourselves as a people all the way to the end where we can go no more. And then we realize that it was all in vain. We're going to have to turn around. We're going to have to turn around. And like a dog to his own vomit, we're going to have to turn around and turn back. Yeah? We're going to have to turn around and turn back from whence we came. Because we are going to discover that the journey we have taken on is a pointless journey. You hear tell them, I want to hear about God. So what you want to hear about? They might endorse the devil. They might endorse everything that is so negative. They might endorse. You understand? They want to banish everything that says good. Because you don't have to be religious. You don't have to be religious or endorse any particular denomination or religion, to realize the things that are good for you as humans and the things that are not. The things that will that are progressive for us and the things that are not. The activities that will contribute to us as human beings being able to maximize our potential and grow and reproduce and continue to replenish the earth. We don't need no Bible to tell us. We don't need no Bible to tell us. We can see based off the evidence of what has been done and the outcomes that we have experienced. We know. We don't need nobody to tell us. You need somebody to tell us that if we continue with a particular lifestyle, it's going to be detrimental to humanity as it is. You want somebody to tell you that if I see my neighbor with something right now and I go across the street and I see my neighbor and I see Miss Jen put up something nice in our front yard and I go across there and I go steal it, it don't belong to me. And I go across there and I go steal it. I'm not behaving neighborly. And if she come out and she do something to me, me not deserve it. Because I'm not supposed to left from women, left from God, go interfere the woman's things. Do you need a Bible to tell you that? You don't need a Bible to tell you that. That is wrong. You don't need a Bible to tell you that if you have a confrontation with your neighbor, you resolve it peacefully. You're not going to take up machete, you're not going to take up genuine, you're not going and hurt your neighbor and spill your neighbor's blood. You need Bible to tell you that? No. No, because from experience, we realize that that is not a good thing. That is not helpful to us as humans and with our desires to move forward, to progress, to grow, to express love and compassion towards each other. You understand? Angie, what's up? You are the enemy. Chapter 21, or is 18 to 21. Would you do that today? Or is 18? We don't read chapter 18 yet. We just finished chapter 9. We know you probably read ahead already. So you know. Guess your sister was fulfilled. If they ask for your coat, give them your cloak too. She lucky. Blessed one, she lucky. But if them ask for cloak, the coat too. Oh my gosh. Winsome, Lord have mercy on this nation. I tell you, Sister Winsome. We're gonna go so far till we can't go no further. And we realize that we can't go no further. We have exhausted everything. We have destroyed all the good that was given to us. And then we realize we have to go turn back, rewrite the laws, turn back, and start all over again. Trust me. Are you sure this woman didn't have some secrets for your sister? And that again, me not know about my secret, but my sister sometimes she go like say she not understand something. Sometimes I have to get pan her too. I have to say, you're trying to make people, oh no, Trev, I don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just leave it alone, Trev. I mean, like seriously. So, me just leave it alone. Mm-hmm. Exactly, Andrea. Common sense. Common sense. Blessed say, going to be too late for us to turn around. I tell you, it is going to be because I tell you, the next 20 years, when all of these old men, o- 20, 30 years, when these old men have died have died out of Congress and out of the legislature, and these younger people, these Gen Z people come up and start to be the rulers and the leaders, it's going to be hell to pay. You know, hear me tell you know? It's gonna be hell to pay because they are going to implement laws that's going to lead this world into lawlessness. You hear me tell you? It's going to lead this place into lawlessness because it's going to be everything and anything goes. And there cannot be a house without laws. There cannot be a house without rules. There cannot, nowhere cannot function without laws, without rules. But what kind of laws and rules? Aren't the laws and the rules supposed to be applicable? Yeah, supposed to be where we have the same objective. We are working towards the same betterment and the same good of everybody. But, but the things that this new generation is going to be abolishing, the things that they're going to be abolishing are going to be the things that have suited humanity for generations. And when they destroy and outlaw and banish all these things, they're gonna see that them heading themselves down into a bottomless pit. And when they reach the end of the road, blessed one said there shall be no turning back. Them have to realize, say, before them is a precipice and behind them is fire. And they're not gonna have nowhere to turn and no hiding place. Trust me, I tell you. Because some of the things that they are banishing these days and making outlaw and sitting. All right. Let me read the chat. Blessed one says, common decency and good. Exactly, blessed. Common decency. Would I tell you? Would I tell you? Say you can't do that. Because me could have never look for my pitney and say to her, say, go across the road yesterday. Me see my neighbor pitney have one nice frock or one nice shoes. Go across the road and go tell her, say, Mr. to give it to you. I would be so ashamed. I would be so embarrassed. I could have never do something like that. But that's how bad mind. May I tell you not to say that that's how bad mind work. That's how bad mind work. And covetousness. And that is what caused Jezebel. That is what caused Jezebel to lose her life the way she did. Because Jezebel, when her husband Ahab asked Naboth for the land, Naboth said, no, I can't give you this land and I cannot sell it to you either because this is what I inherited from my fathers. I can't give it to you. And go home, go cry to Jezebel and say, ask Naboth for the land, and Naboth say no. And Jezebel was the one who came up with the plan. You understand? And the plan she came up with led to them stoning Naboth to death over the man's own land. And that made God angry. And remember the prophet said, that Jezebel, the dogs shall eat her. Dogs shall eat her. And she stood by the window and she saw Jehu coming through the gates of Jerusalem. And the three eunuchs them come at the window and then push her out of the window. Yeah? Jehu say, which of you are going to follow me? Because I guess by now them hear the news say Jehu has killed Ahaziah and he has killed Jehoram. So now them probably afraid of him. So the three unit come at the windows. He said, "Which one are going to follow me or not going to follow me?" Threw her out of the window, and then pitch her out of the window, and him run the chariot them over her. You understand? And our blood splattered everywhere. And when he tell him to go out and go pick her up, pick up the carcass when they went out, only thing was left of her was her skull, her feet, and the palm of her hands. The dogs had already eaten her. And they said they will not even bury her because they don't want there to be a place for her to rest. So the dog them eat her and the dog them run up and down all about and poop her out, poop her out. That's how our whole body will be scattered around in dog poop all over. Ain't that something? That's where bad mind leader. That's where wickedness leader. That's where covetousness leader. Do Deuteronomy age after 21. Oh, Deuteronomy 21, verse 18 to 19. And what that say? Remember what that say? Deuteronomy. Let me see. Deuteronomy chapter 21. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers. Deuteronomy chapter 21. Let me see. Deuteronomy chapter 21 and verse what? Verse 18 and 19. 18. Let me see what that say. And the elders of that city shall take that man and chastise him, and they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver, and give them unto the father of the damsel, because he hath brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel, and she shall be his wife. He may not put her away all his days. Are you right, please, may I read? God. For if this thing be true, and the tokens of virginity be not found for the damsel, then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones that she die, because she had wrought folly on Israel. I saw. We can't do that in today's society. You understand? We can't do that in today's society. I talk about if you're married to the woman and then you find out that she's a virgin, you have to put her out, make them fling wax stone for her. Mm-hmm. Blessed say, or I shouldn't work yet, get the best. Exactly. You don't have to work, but you expect to get the best things in life. You have to keep it. Yes, you have to be covetous and steal it from others. You don't want to work where you have. But just so Angie says she eat breakfast. Angie says, so how can we respect others? Exactly. How can we respect others? It have to come from us. You understand? To respect each other. And also to set boundaries. Angie, if we see you buy something, no, if we see you go place say, go a Bloomingdale's or wherever the lovely places you go, and you buy something. And me say to yourself, Angie, me like that, give me it now. All right, that's fine. But if me show up at your house and say, Piggy, you can't understand people, Jamaicans, we say that, like, give me that, no, that nice seed again, no? Or so, but we don't really mean say, give it to me. We mean, it's just a way of talking. And you find out with a lot of Jamaicans. You know, that shoes are nice, they give me it now. You understand? They will say it even though the shoes can't fit them. But it's just a way of saying the shoes is nice or the dress is nice. But they're not going to show up at your house and say, then come for the shoes. In all seriousness, to them come for the shows. They said say, a man or woman should have as many partners as they desire one. Why not? Why not? The heck, why not? Why not? Have as many as you like. Better to a little nice. So your little niece may have been so sad to part with the dress. And you know, I didn't want to harp on it. I didn't want to because since our mother never did us say nothing. Me and our mother said with such joy, with such joy, I said, yeah, give her the dress. Give her. You understand? So I guess my niece didn't outwardly show any disapproval at giving the friend the dress. She said, oh, my mommy said to give her the dress. And then when me a quarrel, she like, oh, auntie, but my mommy said, it's okay, my mommy said. So I said, okay, let me, let me just keep it in my heart. Let me not go take up the battle. That's mommy said it's something burn me, it's something hurt me, something. Blessed, so one state has already done it officially. Good for them. All right. Yes, Angie, sister killing sister and brother killing sister over. Yes. Mm-hmm. Kill each other over also and all kinds of other things. I don't really entertain church people at my little tent, rather sinners as they call us. Blessed, 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 blessed one, not easy. Oh my God. If we do that, that there would be no woman left. Exactly, God. If that exactly, no woman would be left. They would have all of me were rocks. They would have fling out some boulder upon me. Mighty God. Imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine that. You understand? Angie says, did you hear the news? Daughter and granddaughter kill mom. What? Lord have his mercy upon my soul. What then kill him? No, somebody tell us that Mr. is like an evil force let go upon the earth. Ah, is like an evil force is let go on the earth. Yeah, me tell you no. Is that the people them tormented? I say, as me I read the Bible now. Sometimes we don't even know what forces lead us now. We just go on. We don't know what forces lead us. Because as me I read the Bible and me I look around at life, at the world, at our existence. I'm just saying, even if there is a lot of violence in the Bible, if you are going to say, oh Lord, the Bible have too much violence in there. Yeah, the Bible does. But remember, it is reported speech. People are telling of what happened during their lifetime. Just like how right now there are people writing about what's happening in this lifetime. What is happening in their lifetime now. And 2 million years from now, the people who will be living then will be able to read about what happened in this time. They will be able to read about it. That's the same way we are reading the Bible about what happened then. If these things ever happened. We don't know because some of these things downrightly not seem humanly possible. You understand? But we're reading it anyway because it is written. You understand? Still just sharing myself. Okay. Monea, how are you doing, my dear sister? Someone took my grandfather's glasses. It hurt my heart. They took it from my mom's house and replaced it with another glasses. Really? Like seriously? You see all them something there now? Or somebody will come at your house, Somebody will come at your house. So them see film glasses, them like it. And then replace it with one inferior glasses. and take team glasses. Mighty God of Daniel, I tell you, the state of Utah. But remember, Utah, the state of Utah, where the Mormon religion was founded. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. That's where the Mormon religion was founded, up there in Utah. Up there in Utah. So them ban the Bible already. I saw that not tell me. Did you hear or saw the news of flooding in Ukraine caused by bomb explosion? When will the war end? Oh really? Trust me. There is not just going to be war in Ukraine. There is going to be wars everywhere. Wars that start off of nothing. Wars that start off of nothing. You understand? You think these leaders are acting on their own? When the Florida governor say everybody should have a gun, you think say them are acting for their own will? These people were predestined. These people were predestined to become leaders because they are the ones who must put the laws into place that shall make these prophecies fulfill. I don't think I me I tell. Wanna watch it. Some of us going to live to see it, and some of us are going dead before we see it. But it's gonna happen. You understand me? They're not doing these things of their own will. These are like demons being sent on the earth to be leaders. Because only in the position of a leader can you pass laws that will lead to the destruction of which we read. The pending destructions of which we read. Because if you're a little man like me can't pass no law. Me can't sign nothing into law. You understand? So it has to be with our elected officials. They are the demons that have to pass the laws that are going to cause prophecy to fulfill. Mark my word, I said it. Mhm. All right. They are planning to ban their book too. Oh, really? That's exactly what it says was going to happen. When the river Euphrates dried up, the beast that is under it would be let loose on the earth. And today, that river is dried up. Mhm. Okay. All right. Yes, blessed one. They have already banned books in Florida and Texas. I tell you, people, I tell you, when you see things happening, they're not happening just so, you know. Things not happening just so. I fail to believe, I fail to believe that things are just happening just like that. You understand? I could be wrong. I could be dead wrong. You understand? I could be dead wrong. But I don't pass it off as doctrine or as truth. I just said that I believe. I believe. And we are going to see more and more and more and more alarming things happening to us. More and more alarming things happening around us. They are happening every day and they are happening everywhere. Not just in one place, but everywhere. You understand? Mark you my word, I tell you, my people. Mark my word, I tell you. Blessed said that's why we have so much angry adults. These childhood hurts live with them. And the covetous ones become shoplifters and thieves and oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. So as my generation, so say the impact of my generation, so the people are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, their impact is sort of dwindling right now, right? Their impact is sort of dwindling. Our impact. The ones who are coming up now, who are in their 20s and their 30s, the teens and 20s and 30s, they are moving away from everything traditional. They are moving away from everything traditional, whether it is with procreation, whether it is with religion, whether it is with education, whether it is with economics, whatever it is, they are moving away from the traditional ways of doing things. Some of the things they are doing might seem like progress to them and might, in fact, provide progress. But some of the things that they are endorsing and doing is leading to downright destruction of humanity as we knew it. Procreation, the continuation of the human race as we know it. And I wouldn't be surprised if, say, 2, 3, 400 years from now, there is so few humans on the earth. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to put it at, say, 500, 1,000 years from now. There are so few humans on the earth that the animals have come back. The animal population has boomed and the human population has drastically declined, that people are almost like living wild again because there'll be so few people left. So few people. The population is doing everything to decline itself. Yeah, population is doing we are doing everything that will contribute to the decline in the human population. Mark my word, I said it. Yes, oh yes, blessed. Such a time as was never seen before. We may not live to see, we are not going to live to see it, but trust and believe that it is going to happen. Andrea said they are opening portals of demons, I tell you. They are opening portals of demons. Trust me, they are. They are opening portals of demons. You understand me? They arrest her. Finally, they arrest her. Finally. But the funny thing is, are they going to charge her? Is the charge going to stick? Is she going to prison? Because I heard the police officer was making that first statement about it, and the way out, him I talk with water in my mouth, and I talk about stand your ground. How the hell them come up with this stand your ground already? You know, and he can't find his words. Yeah, because he want to already compromise the investigation. These people, you see? All right, well, I'm glad at least them arrest her. Oh, yes. So Andrea said them opening up portals of demons. I'm going to go back to that, yeah? They have already opened up these portals of demons. You understand? This earth we are feeling it. The demons are let go in all shape and form. Let me tell you something. We're going to get shocks and more shocks, believe me. 2 days ago, when I see me go to my friend's funeral. 2 days ago, I go to my friend's funeral. My friend was one of the calmest persons. You know, him not say much, but he was one of the calmest persons. You understand? One of the calmest person. When I see me there, I a bake bread and me sitting and me say, me I carry a work. When you hear me say me I carry a work, but me and my friend I go eat it. You understand? Me and my friend I go eat it. He will always tell me, so where I cook? Where I cook Wednesday when you come to work? Yeah. Bake sitting for me now. And we see me there, and we rub up a little something. And carry go to work and me and him eat it together. Only thing he never like when me make nothing with cassava. But would I eat anything else on me make? You understand? And I do not know. Let me tell you something. I saw my friend on the 18th. I work the 18th. Him come check me. I mean, and him chat and chat and chat and chat. Him tell me that him say someone when you come back at work. Me say Friday. He said, okay, Friday, where you bring? You cook something. Me say Friday, me gonna make a banana bread. Him say, all right, I'm gonna be here. No, that was the Friday of Memorial Day weekend, the Friday. Me tell him I'm gonna make the banana bread. I come to work, me eat the banana bread. That Friday, I couldn't go to work because remember, say, my family, my loved one passed away in Georgia, so I had to go down there. So I went down to Georgia that Friday, so I never go work. I came back this Saturday. I'm going to work this Saturday. Work this Saturday, I work this Sunday. No, him not work Saturday and Sunday. So all right. So I'm not seeing. Monday morning, me day here, me get a text and say him pass away. Monday, you know. Monday. That was Memorial Day Monday. Me get the text. Him pass away. I mean, I say, mighty God, look at that, Isa. I'm ready to see him Friday with the banana bread. All right? I want to see me make the banana bread at Georgia Saturday. Day before yesterday, I'm going funeral. I will be telling some me stand up there, I look on him, me look on him, me look on him, me look on him. Me just can't comprehend how somebody who was so positive. When anything ever happened, me always I said to me, like, life too short, man. I worry about all of this. Life is too short for all of this. And when me get to understand that his demise was self-inflicted, I was so shocked. I'll know my heart heavy. My heart empty and it's heavy. Because me just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And these things are going to continue to happen. People we love, people we care about, are going to be so overwhelmed by the issue that's going on in this world. They might just take themselves out. Like, I can't deal with this. It's just too overwhelming, too stimulating. We can't deal with this. Because everywhere you turn, you have all of this to do. No. You're going to find that is going to happen. It is going to happen. Blessed says the prophecies about man and climate are all fulfilling. See, the days are shortening. It's June 7th already. It's June 7th already, I tell you. The moral goalpost is shifting. I don't shift it, I shift because I chop it down. I chop it down. Them don't want no goalpost no more. Them don't want nothing to stop them. Them don't want nothing at all to tell them say they're wrong. They do not want to be told that what they are doing is wrong. That it is not contributing to the betterment of humanity. Everybody want to live their own way. Everybody want to do their own thing. You understand? It is happening every single. Go about your business, God. Go about your business. You know, you never get none of the bread. You understand me? No, so me to carry the banana bread on Friday. So me and him sit down and eat the banana bread and chat. Chat over it and chat and laugh. Chat and laugh, because we always have bully things to chat and laugh about. Always have. Yes, God, yes, he did. Officially see saying he have to talk to me afterwards. All right, text me or yeah, text me. Mm, yes, Andrea, I was so sad. Me say me look for him, me look for him, me look for him till me couldn't look no more. Me have to just turn away and just, you know, because I look for him, me I said to myself, say, no, sir, I can't eat that little man casket there, so. Because the man not sick. The man not nothing. Arty man. I mean, I don't know what was going on. I'm sure there must have been something that said to him that that was the way out. You know. But I mean, life goes on. Life goes on. I mean, I tell us that we keep hearing about this more and more and more and more, and we are going to continue to hear about it more and more and more and more. You understand? I was talking to an individual not so long ago, and he had attempted the same thing, but he wasn't successful. And as I was talking to him, and he said he felt embarrassed, he felt ashamed. And I said to him, what make you feel embarrassed? What are you ashamed of? Are you ashamed that, other people know that you attempted to do that? And he said, no, he's embarrassed that he wasn't successful. And I said, mighty God, this person needs a lot of help, because chances are he might go do it again and the next time he might be successful. So I mean, I don't know. This thing is happening. You understand, Andrew? Yes, he was hurting inside. There was something going on. I mean, keep on a wonder say if me did go Friday, I me did see him, I mean, and him get to sit down and chat and eat the banana bread and chat. Maybe that would have hurt me even more. Maybe that would have hurt me even more. For me, that most time me just, you understand? So you never know when things happen. Why that happened when me never go to work Friday. You get to see him. I don't know, it just hurt me. It just hurt me. It just hurt me. It just hurt me. I just couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. Couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. And all along, me no know. Me I ask it, what do him? What caused it? What caused it? What caused it? Me I search. Them I say, oh, accident. A accident. I me I search for this accident. Can't find the accident. It wasn't until me reach. It wasn't until me go at the funeral that somebody tell me at the funeral. Because at the funeral, even they were preaching or talking about him, they never said what caused it. So I was still like in the dark, like, what the heck? What happened? And then somebody told me at the funeral. You understand? You, yeah, maybe you're not seeing him for the last one. Exactly. I mean, mm, mm, mm. Say something grieve me, see, man. Something grieve me, man. Grieve me. But I mean, me have to just look at it as and say, such is life. I mean, it is what it is. He gone, he can't come back. What me I gonna do? It was meant to be. Yeah, I think it was meant to be. It was meant to be. You know, son. Cause me even I tell myself, to me, I wonder if somebody do it to him, I make it look like I him do it to himself. Me don't know. Me don't know, cause me just can't see it. Me just can't see it. It's like, me would say card now. I mean that me and card do that talk or whatever. me wouldn't see it, me wouldn't believe it, me wouldn't understand it. I wouldn't understand it because I wanna like say somebody want me just know online where me not really see the person, me haven't really experienced the person. As somebody when me have me been forced to see for few years now since me had a job. You understand? So it was just just sad. But anyway, such is life. Such is life. You win some, you lose some. We have to take care of each other. We have to, you know, say kind words because honestly, sometimes some people come to you with some foolishness, you really want to rebuke them. But sometimes we have to stop and think, say something else might be going on with them. Maybe they need somebody to talk to. You understand me? You never know. Cause did you see and Mr. Carter, that's why I'm shocked. So no indication at all, me tell you. He talk same way, always I make a joke, and always we a make joke and a laugh. If me hear say something happen, if me hear say something happen, you understand? And me call him, he come up. Me say, me hear say so and so, me hear say so and so and so, uh, he say, oh, I didn't hear, but I find out. I find out. I'll let you know. I'll let you. And him coming back. Him coming back. Someone. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's true. It's true. I never had no ink. He never presented himself as anybody. Never was depressed. We had never talked about like his outside life, but he never seemed depressed. Him always willing to help, always smiling, always. We don't know. Somebody always tell them people you have to look out for the one who always a smile. I don't make nothing bother them. And them have a lot of bother them. Well, me might have to look out for myself. Lord help me. No, so it was just so heartbreaking. So sad. Such a sad occasion. But hey, it is what it is here. Life goes on. Life goes on. And we hope to move right along with life as it moves along with us. All right. And so, guys, see what time of day it is. We are going to be coming back. Some people are good at hiding their feelings. Exactly, Angie. Some people are very good at hiding their feelings. You can never tell what's going on with them. You understand? You can never tell. So I'm telling you, so me come here, so I'm on my therapy. Believe you me, on my therapy. So when me come here and me come sit down here so and chat with you and laugh with you, it feel like say me know you from wherever. Being is a on the chat is a great laugh and chat. Oh yes, it does. It does, Andrea. It does. I mean, no, it does for me. Because with me as me being a loner, me being the loner that I am, you understand? Yeah, yeah. It really does help. It really can hear other people, read what other people think about what I am thinking, what I am saying, and it provides for great conversation. And it's almost like you're not alone. Because even if you don't have um physical encounters with people, having encounters with people on the internet make you feel like say you know them, make you feel like say you can talk to them. Yeah, and it is great therapy. It is great therapy. Trust me. I was told more women think of doing that, but more men actually do it. Say that's true though. That is true in a blessed one. That is so true. More men actually doing because the man them a dog out. Yeah, more men actually do it. You understand? I'd say human interaction is very underrated. But very necessary for our mental stability. Oh yes, very necessary. You can't be in this world all by yourself. And the internet is a great way to meet people and talk to people. If you don't want to meet them physically, you can always meet them on the internet and chat with them. So the chats really do serve as therapy for me. In some countries, one is encouraged to do it legally if you are old and suffering. Yes, yes, they have that if you are old and suffering. But there is old and suffering or sick and suffering, and there is healthy and alive and doing what you do, working and doing what you do, and then boom, boom, some kind of evil force come over you, and boom, you're gone. You understand me? Boom, you're gone, just like that. And just as you said, therapeutic. It is therapeutic outlet for all times. I mean, you are so welcome, my love. Believe me, because in helping myself and getting my own therapy by being here and talking with you all, you understand? It turns out to be therapeutic for all of us. And I tell you, I cannot thank you all enough. I cannot thank you all enough because when I come on here, it's like me I come home and me know say I'm me alone. I'm me alone I go there here. And then when me come, I say, me really not alone. Because me can pick up the phone, me can call somebody, me can talk to somebody, me can come on the live and we can chat, cut up, get off a piece soup and do and do just about as much as I would have done if I was with somebody physically, if I was around people physically, you know. Ain't that something? That is something. That is something. And I sincerely appreciate each and every one of you who have come into the live, who continue to come into the live, who, who comment and share and chat and laugh with me here, so that at least life is not so lonely. Life is not so lonely, right, Angie? Yeah, life is not so lonely because in the days before the internet, imagine somebody like me coming here in here by myself. I mean, all of my worries come down upon me, all of my trials, all of my tribulation. I just me and them demons here in here a fight. Oh my God. I just me and them. No, you know, I fight them with me. And I thank you guys. I thank you all so much. Yes, we fight the demons together. I look like the demons Lego in the world, brother. I mean, I know how so many people just end up not wanting to be here anymore. And despite how hard life may be, me still love living. Despite how hard life may be hard. People deceive you. I mean, people hate you. People wicked to you. But hey, I believe that I have encountered more good people in life than I've encountered bad people. I've encountered more kind people than I've encountered wickedness. You understand me? So why should I make the wicked and the evil that is so few and far between? Why should I make it overshadow the good, the well, the beautiful? No, I can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that at all. So we have to embrace the good and banish the bad. Or strike a balance. Strike a balance. Be able to strike a balance between the good and the bad in our lives. Okay? Alright? That is the story for today, my lovely people. Yeah, that's where it is today, Wednesday. I have a see. I don't know, some see me garden 2 years now. 2 days now, me not see my garden. So guess what? Me have to get up and go out there. Wanna walk on my garden with me? Yeah. Me have to cut off the live here though. I'm gonna cut off this live and then what you saw? I'm going to cut off this live and then go out in my garden because me have to go show on my wheelbarrow. Angie, 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 me get my wheelbarrow. Yeah, me have to show on the wheelbarrow and if it's not too hot outside, me have to if it's not too hot outside, me have to cut down the front. All right, let's go in the garden. Yeah, we are gonna cut off this live and then start the garden live in about the next 10 minutes or so. We're gonna start the garden live. Make we go see what they go on and the whole morning from Monday morning. Monday morning, me left for my friend's funeral and then we come back. We go straight to work. Me go straight to work and then yesterday me go straight to work. So whatever. So me no get fee. Me no get fee. Me no get to see the garden. So me I go out there go see the garden in a few. All right. So me gone. I will see you all. Get a big straw hat and sunscreen. Okay. Okay. In a few minutes we will be out there. So guys, I will be out in the garden in the next few minutes. All right, guys. I will see you all then. Thank you all so much for coming into the live this morning and spending time with me. I sincerely appreciate you guys. I sincerely appreciate you guys. I will see you all again in a few. Have yourselves a great day, everybody. All right, that's what me I gotta do. All right, Angie, I'll be out there in a few, my love. See you all then, lovely people. Have yourselves a good day. Oh, you're going out blogging. Okay, sis. We will see you out blogging. All right, later.